Hi, I'm Mike from Clearview Mirrors. Over the last several months we've been developing our new 200 series LandCruiser mirrors, and we're very proud to announce that we've actually finished them and they're ready and on the market. Today we're going to actually show you how to fit our mirrors, and speak of the devil, here comes Alan Montgomery now in our test vehicle, and we're going to do some fitting of the mirrors after we get back to the workshop. Hi, this is Alan, and Alan Montgomery. Alan's been doing a bit of road testing on our vehicle here and has been kind enough to let us use his vehicle, tear it apart, put it back together, tear it apart again, and we've done several samples of these, and we're pretty happy with the final result. How do you find them, Alan?
Oh, they're just great, Mike. I'm really pleased that I've got them. When they were fitted, I couldn't believe how easy it was to see past the caravan. Before I'd had the ones that you stick on the sides of the windows here, they scratch the windows. Now I don't have to worry about even whether I've packed the mirrors. I have to pull them off when I take the caravan off and so on. I don't have to do any of that with these mirrors, and I reckon they're just terrific.
So basically what happens with the mirror is when you're not towing, you slide the thing back in like that. If you go into a tight spot, you can fold them back. They'll come back out and locate into an indent, and if they cop a whack from behind, they'll also go around like that. They actually miss a snorkel that's on the side here, so they won't damage a snorkel either. And that's it. Just pull them out when you're ready to go racing, basically. Our mirrors here, what we call the base, it's made of all die cast. It's all one piece on the actual base with a cap that goes over the top of it. It's a very, very rigid construction, and takes any movement whatsoever out of the mirror. We've found that they're absolutely vibration free, and we're extremely happy with them. Anyway, that's enough of that for now. Let's go back to the workshop and I'll show you guys how you can take your mirrors off and fit these so that you can get out there on the road and start caravanning. Hi, we're back at the Clearview Mirror Factory now, and for the purpose of the exercise I'm going to show you exactly how we take our mirrors off, fit our new towing mirrors, and put everything back again without damaging anything. If you've got a Toyota LandCruiser Sahara, you've got two functions in your mirror which you will not be able to have access to once you put our mirrors on. One is an automatic fold in and out, like this. You'll lose that with our mirror, and also the dip down when you grab reverse. I can't do anything about that at this point. GXL and VX owners, that doesn't apply to you. You won't really need to worry about that. Okay. Before you start ripping into your door or taking anything off, it's a real good idea to get the right tools. These are the tools that I suggest that you use. You need a number 2 Phillips head screwdriver. If you've got something like that, it's very useful. If you haven't, a longer flat screwdriver will do the job as well. I like to use a smaller flat screwdriver, and I'll show you why in a moment. And of course, a little ratchet. You don't want one of these great big long things, you just need something small, and you only want to tighten things up with your hand right up here at the turning point there, okay? That socket there is a 10mm socket. You can use a 10mm ring spanner if you like. Okay, I'm assuming you've got all your tools and everything together. Let's go. I'm going to do it in small increments so you can do a little bit at a time, and then you can go back and take it off, and then we'll come back to it and then we'll do a little bit more, so it just makes it easier for you. Okay, you've got all your tools. There's only a few things on a 200 door that you need to do. One of them is this corner part first. Take that off, and it's simply just get your thumb in behind it and just pull it off. It only fits in with this plastic clip, quite easy to come off. Secondly, you've got a plastic panel here in behind the door. This is what I like to use the flat screwdriver for. I put it in here on the top of the black button. Don't rest it on your plastic door handle because you'll mark all the trim. You just need to put it in there and simply go like that and it'll pop out. Get your fingernail in behind it and it just pops out. I'm sure anybody can do that. The next part here, if you want to just zoom in here a little bit closer, and I'll show you what you're going to do here, because these parts here are all plastic, right, and they're very, very easy to mark, and the last thing you want is marks on your upholstery. Okay, you need to go in here where the plastic joins and it meets the rubber part. Put your screwdriver in there just nice and gently, and then prise it up like that. Now, it'll go up with a bit of a click and it'll sound terrible, but trust me, if you do it nice and gently, you won't do any damage. Here, I like to hold my hand under the screwdriver like that, taking the weight off this plastic panel, and then just pop down on the other side and then lift it out. You've got an electrical plug here. Take your plug out, simply hook onto it with your thumbnail, and then your electrics come off. The next part is the part that scared the daylights out of me more than anything, but once you've done it, you'll realise just how easy it is. This plastic panel here is like an L shape, and it needs to come off. So what I do here is, you've got your door lock here, rest on that because you can't damage that, and I put the little flat screwdriver just in here and just prise it out a little bit. You'll hear it click. Well, you should hear it click. If not, pop your screwdriver up there and you'll hear it starting to come apart. Just gently work along like that until you get it all out. Sometimes you might need to be a little bit aggressive on it and just keep tweaking along here until it all comes out. It'll sound terrible, but it's really not as bad as what it looks or as what it sounds. And that's what you finish up with. You've got these little location points along here that go in and they fit into the door, right? But they all just prise off. After that, you've got 3 screws. You've got one in the centre of the door handle here. We take that out, being careful not to drop it down into the door. What I've got here is I've got a Phillips head screwdriver with a magnetic end on it. It really helps when you've got to do these 2 screws here, because once you get in here and you undo the screws, the screw should attach itself to the screwdriver and come out with it, so you don't have to go digging for it. Same with the one here. Now that you've done that, you should have 3 screws. Keep them together, don't lose it. Put them in an ice cream container or a little box or something like that so you can't lose any of them. Says I as I throw them on the floor. Okay. The rest of the door trim is actually held in with little white clips like that. Okay. These clips fit into the back of the door panel and then they just pop into the door. Once again, they sound terrible when they come off, but it sounds like the whole door's coming off. But it's just these things releasing. They're okay. What I like to do with this is, if you come down here and you feel down along the bottom of the door, you'll feel like a little indent in the door, right? It's made so you can get a screwdriver under there, right? Put your screwdriver under the door and then get your fingers ready to get on this side of it and give it a bit of a pull. Now, this one has been on and off quite a lot of times during our testing, and it comes off quite easily now. If you're taking yours off for the first time, you're probably going to find it quite tight, right? And you'll feel like you're going to rip the door off its hinges. You've just got to gently, if this makes sense, you've got to gently be aggressive with it, if that makes sense. Now, sometimes this light here may fall out, and it's usually because you pull the door panel out from here, right? You haven't broken anything. They're really quite simple. You put the wire end in first, and then just push it back into place like that. You're not doing any damage. Now you've got to this point and make sure that they're all out. There's one still located up here. Just listen, and there's your last. I'm not sure what you call them, but they're like a press stud type plastic clip. Once you get to there, just give the door trim a bit of a tap on the outer edge, not the inner edge, on the outer edge, and you'll find it'll come up. Right? Now, usually, in here, can you just come in here a bit closer? You've got one of those plastic clips here, and it fits into the front part of the door here. It's a bit of a contract to put them back on. If worse comes to worse and you're having trouble with it when you're putting it back on, just take it out and leave it out. It won't matter because your cover goes over there anyway, and it really won't matter. As you can see, we've got cables in the door here, and when you take the door trim off, you've also got your door light down the bottom, which is still on, I might add. They're still attached to the door. So what I have done is I have a hook, and you want to make something up, maybe a bit of a hook, or ask somebody to come and hold the door panel for you. And this is how I do it. I just hook it under there like that, and I hook it onto the top of the door, and that just holds the door panel in place and doesn't drop and bend door cables and stuff like that. You need to get into this electrical connector in here. Okay, once again, using your thumb, you've got a click. A clicker on here, which you've got to try and manoeuvre up. Doing it with one hand doesn't make it any easier. Okay, now you've got that out. This is a Sahara, by the way. You might have gathered that when we wound the windows in and out. I'm going to move this back a little bit so that I can show you how to get that plastic tag off. Now, these things here are quite stiff when they're new. This one's been on and off a few times, right? So if you get a screwdriver, especially if you've got a bend on the screwdriver like that, it's really helpful. If not, a flat screwdriver will do the job. Get it under one side, give it a bit of a prise, hold it out, and then do the other side, and it will pop out. Okay, now your mirror, you're ready to undo the 3 bolts to take it off. I'm going to cheat a little bit here. I've got a power screwdriver, which just makes our life simple. Now, when you take these off, the mirror shouldn't fall off because it's got like a little spring clip in the top of it. You're going to need those 3 nuts when you put our mirror back on. Okay, so make sure you look after those. And then to get the mirror off, I'll put one hand under here and just give it a gentle tap, and you'll find it'll come off quite easily. Okay. Now I'm going to go and get the other mirror, and then we'll start the procedure of reassembly. Okay, now we're going to start to put the mirrors back on. As you can see, our mirrors are a little bit wider than the standard Toyota mirror. So you need to be aware of that when you're going into a garage or you're getting in close somewhere. If you need to, you'll need to get out and fold them back. Okay, what we're going to do now is I'm going to fit the mirror. And remember I said to you, you're going to need those Toyota nuts that come off your mirror. Okay, so now I'm going to fit the mirror for you. I like to go in and work through the door and hold the mirror with one hand, feed the wire through here with the other. And then simply put your 3 bolts through the hole. Right, spin them up, they go on pretty easily, as you can see. And then once you've got it on there, have a look down between the door and make sure that your rubber and everything is looking good. You don't want the rubber half hanging out or getting stuck in between the mirror base and the door itself. You want it reasonably visual down the outside. Okay, I'm just going to nip these up now using my 10mm socket. Just hold the top one in and do that one up first. Right, just take it up firm. Don't get carried away with it. Right, just nip them all up. Right. I like to hold the spanner about here, not right out here where you've got too much leverage on it. Just take it down, nip them up, do a little bit at a time, and go around all of them until you're fairly happy that they're reasonably tight. And you'll find that as you go around them, you'll get a little bit more and a little bit more on them until they all bottom out like that. That's pretty good. Like I said, you don't want a big long lever on them. Okay, now you're at that point, you'll notice on the end of the wire here, there's a little plug, and it's totally different to the one that's in here. What we've done is we've done two looms. We've done a loom here for the Toyota Sahara. It's got the bigger plug, okay, and it simply just plugs in like that. In the other end, I like to run the wire. Oh, by the way, this one here's for the GXL. Okay, GXL and the VX, they'll just plug in and everything will work. Now, I'll just take this door panel off here for you so you can get a bit of a better look. We've got a fair bit of wire here, so I like to run the wire in behind the other loom here, where it's out of the way and it can't get caught or trapped up in anything, if I can ever get it through. Okay, like that, and then just loop the wire in. That will only go in one way and you'll hear it go click. To get it out, it's got like a little lever on there that just hooks on, right? It's just simply push in. Okay, and that wire will be okay there on its own. After you do that, get rid of your hook and get rid of your rag. I'll put the rag on there so we don't scratch anything. Okay, now this is probably the hardest part of putting the door back together, right, is getting this corner in and over there. You've sort of got to flex the door a little bit there, right, and at the same time trying to get that into there. You need to sort of come back this way a little bit, get that corner over, right, and then try and point that in. And I don't believe it, it's gone in first time. How good's that? Okay, and once you get this corner in, just tap it down along like that and it's in. Then round this side here, you can see what I said to you before, the light will pop itself out, right? All you need to do with the rest of the panel is just go along the edges and go like that. And that panel's back in like it originally was. Just push your wire back in here, the wire end in first, push that back, and then we're reassembling in the opposite direction that we started from. Okay, go in here, put that one in, just nip them up until they're tight. You don't have to put a lot of pressure on them. There's another one in there. I find that if you just jam it in there, the thing will find its way. Okay, you'll notice that when I've assembled the mirror, it's in the closed position. That's the way they come in the box. They travel better that way. Okay, we'll worry about opening that up after you're all securely bolted up around here and you've got everything else on. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to put this trim back on. Okay, you can start one end or the other, it doesn't really matter, just make sure you get everything lined up, right, and then just gently click it all back into place, right, it'll go in with a click, and you notice that there's no marks or anything on the plastic. Okay, now buried down in here somewhere is the electrical plug, and we're just going to plug that back in the same way it came out, and then just set this on there, right, and just simply push it back into place. All right, now this one here, you notice it's got a little tag that points downwards. You need to get those two front ones in first, so you're going to put it in like this, then this corner sort of up a little bit so it goes over that little hook, right, and then push the top one in. So we're going to go in like that and put that corner hard in that way and forward, and then we're going to push on the bottom first, right, and then click the top in like that, and it's all done. Okay, now the only other part we've got to do is put this cover and everything back on, and that's really simple as going like that. Now you're done and you're ready to go caravan it. Now I'll just give you a little bit of a demo on the mirrors. Push them in, it's in the closed position there. Just simply open it up like that and it will find its own indent, which is the driving position, which is there, okay? So it'll come out, it'll go to there. If it cops a whack from behind, like I said earlier, it will go around this way and it'll go to a stopper. It won't come round and hit your car. Okay, there's your indent again. There. Okay, what are you waiting around for? Go and do it.